The blizzard had crept in like a predator, swallowing the tundra in waves of white. Lucas Halden tugged his coat tighter and squinted through the snow as he trudged up the last hill before his cabin. The old wood stove back home would be roaring by now, and his thoughts were already on stew and silence, just the way he liked it after a supply run into Denbar outpost. But then he saw her. At first, he thought it was a trick of the snow, a pale blur among a landscape already lost in white. But as he got closer, the outline sharpened. Long limbs bent unnaturally, glistening silver blood in streaks across the ice, and skin that shimmered with a pale hue not born of this world. An alien. She was slumped against a rocky outcrop, one arm wrapped around her side, the other stretched outward in a defiant claw. Her breathing was shallow, each exhale a shudder. Lucas crouched beside her, carefully placing a gloved hand near her shoulder but not touching. "Hey," he said, voice steady but low. "You're hurt." Her eyes fluttered open, dark violet pools that locked onto him with suspicion, pain, and something else. Fear. "I won't hurt you," Lucas added quickly, and against every sensible bone in his body. He stripped off his glove and held out a bare hand. "You'll freeze to death out here." She didn't answer, but her hand, shaking and bloodied, reached for his. He took it. Felt her. Lucas carried her the rest of the way, surprised at how light she was despite her height. Her armor was cracked, black and slick with a biometallic sheen. He didn't recognize the design, though rumors of different alien factions had been trickling through ever since the orbital war had ended 5 years ago. Earth had been left scarred, alliances unsure. Most aliens had pulled out, but some stayed. His cabin door creaked open, warmth spilling out. Lucas set her gently on the cot near the fireplace, then went to work. He fetched towels, antiseptic, his old med kit from his time in the Terran Peace Corps. She hissed when he peeled away her armor and found the wound, a deep gouge along her ribs. Definitely plasma damage. He glanced at her. "This is going to hurt." Her lips curled back, revealing sharp yet elegant teeth. "Human," she rasped, voice accented, melodic. "Why help me?" Lucas hesitated. "Because you're bleeding on my snow," he said dryly. "And because I've seen what war does to people. Even the ones who aren't people." She stared at him, eyes searching. Then she nodded once. He cleaned the wound, applied a regenerative salve he didn't think would work on alien physiology, but it surprised him. Her skin accepted it, knitting slightly before his eyes. "You've got a name?" he asked while wrapping her torso with gauze. Her eyes fluttered. "Valira. I'm Lucas." Isolation and recovery. Over the next few days, the storm made leaving impossible. Snow piled against the windows and the comms tower, already weak, went silent. It was just Lucas and Valira, trapped in his 2-room cabin with firelight and shared silence. First she barely spoke, but her wounds healed quickly, faster than human standards. On the second night, he caught her standing near the window, armored fingers pressed to the frosted glass. "You looking for someone?" Lucas asked. He turned. "No. Avoiding them." He tilted his head. "I was part of a Krillari scouting band," she explained. "We came to monitor Terran activity near the poles. Our ship was struck. I survived. They're looking to finish the job." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Your own people." Valira's jaw clenched. "Not all Krillari believe in peace. Some still see humans as prey." He crossed his arms. "You don't." She hesitated. "I see your people differently now. We thought you were animals before the war, driven by hunger. But Earth fought back. It bled, and it roared, and it endured. That demands respect. Lucas blinked. Was that a compliment? He smirked. A rare one. Bond forged in the cold. The days turned routine. Lucas hunted, bringing back what little game hadn't burrowed deep. Valira cleaned his traps with surprising skill. He showed her how to make coffee. She showed him how to sharpen bone into tools that never dulled. Slowly, the silence between them grew comfortable. One night, as wind howled outside and the fire cracked inside, Valira sat on the floor near his feet, legs crossed, gaze on the flames. "Your kind," she said softly, "fights for home. Not glory. Not dominion. Just survival. I envy that." Lucas looked at her. "What do your people fight for?" He shrugged. "Pride. Expansion. Honor. But it's hollow. I never believed in it." "Is that why they're hunting you?" She didn't answer, but her silence said enough. He poured her more tea. "You could stay," he offered after a while, not meeting her eyes. "When the snow melts. Start over." Valira blinked. "Here. On Earth." Lucas shrugged. "Place is big. Quiet. No one would look twice if you wore a hood." She laughed once, short and bitter. "You are strange, human." He smiled. "Takes one to know one. Danger returns." They thought the blizzard would buy them time. But on the 12th night the peace shattered. A low hum filled the air, barely audible, like a vibration in the bones. Valira stiffened immediately. "Scout drone," she hissed. Lucas grabbed his rifle and moved to the window. A glimmer passed overhead. A spherical probe, scanning, searching. "They found me," she whispered. "Then we move." "No," she said. "You stay. This is my fault." Lucas shook his head. "My house, my rules. I'm not leaving you." She stared at him, and for a moment, there was something almost like grief in her expression. "Then we fight. A siege." By morning, a Krillari shuttle touched down in the distant ridge. Sleek, dark, deadly. Valira readied her plasma blades. Lucas set up traps, loaded his rifle, and activated the old defense turret he hadn't used since his soldiering days. They took positions, back to back as the wind howled once more. 3 Krillari soldiers advanced, heavily armored, weapons glowing. The fight was swift and brutal. Valira danced through the snow like a shadow, her blades carving arcs of heat. Lucas picked targets from a distance, dropping one with a shot through the visor. But one got through, charging Lucas, knocking him flat. The world spun. He saw a flash of plasma, and then Valira's body shielding his, her blade sinking into their enemy's throat. The Krillari screamed and fell. Valira collapsed beside Lucas, breathing ragged. "You okay?" he asked. "I will be," she whispered. "We won." Lucas grunted. "Let's call it a tie." She laughed. The melt and the moment. Spring came late to the Northlands. When the snow finally began to retreat, the world felt new. Valira stood outside the cabin one morning, her armor discarded, replaced with patchwork clothes Lucas had stitched together. She looked peaceful. "They'll send more eventually," she said. "Maybe not for months, maybe years. But they will." Lucas nodded. "Let them come. I'll be ready." She looked at him. "You would risk your life for me, still." He stepped closer. "Wasn't it you who said survival is sacred? You're not just surviving now. You're living." She smiled softly. "And you're the reason." He hesitated, then reached out and took her hand. "You're not alone, Valira. Not anymore." Their fingers entwined, and in that quiet, snow-laced morning, a new promise was made. Not of war or survival, but of something deeper. Future. Together.